Exactly. That's exactly why I didn't want to hard swap again. YouTube, today we're trying out a brand new team, and this team got top 50 in the last Stadium Ladder season with Focus Sash Latias and Thick Fat Safety Goggles Snorlax. We'll see how this team goes, but if you do enjoy the videos, be sure to leave a like down below, leave a comment down below. It really does help me out. And if you want to check out the details of the team and the creator down below in the description. But otherwise, let's get started and play some games. Grimmsnarl, Calyx, Shadow Rider, the Groudon, Charizard, Gastrodon, and the Indeedee here. Okay, what do I want to exactly go against this team? I do have quite a bit of tools right here. My Landers could go really in. My Latias actually seems like a pretty decent lead here. Yveltal, of course, fantastic. I just got to make sure I can handle the Charizard, and then I'm in a really good spot. I don't think I'm like too worried about the Charizard. I actually kind of want to lead the Zacian plus the Latias, because I feel like the biggest annoyance to Latias is going to be the Grimmsnarl. I don't know if they're going to lead Shadow Rider because I do have the Yveltal. If they do, it's fine, I guess. It really just depends on... Well, if they lead Grimmsnarl plus the Calyx, I just switch into Yveltal and then I'm okay, right? So I don't think it's too bad. Yeah, I would like to go with this combination. Then I think in the back, Landorus. Yeah, I think Landorus is pretty good. Aleki doesn't really need too much here. Once I get Tailwind up with Latias, I'm in a really strong spot. It's just a question of, can I get the Tailwind off? It's going to be a really big one. Let's see what my opponent decides to lead. I want to cover for that Grimmsnarl lead immensely, because Grimmsnarl is just a really annoying Pokemon with like Trick and Thunder Wave and Scary Face and all those different kinds of shenanigans right here. So let's find out what they decide to lead here. A Groudon could be a lead here, but it's Charizard and Grimmsnarl. Okay, I don't mind this lead. All right. I don't think it'd be fake out on the Grim here. I could go into Landorus, but I really like, my only reason to bring Zacian to this matchup is literally just for the Grimmsnarl here. So I really want to take the knockout on Grim here. So I think I'm just going to go for the Tailwind right here, and I'm just going to go for Behemoth Blade, because if they this Grim I don't think should have Scary Face. I should just be able to nuke the Grim here with Behemoth Blade. If they go for Thunder Wave or Scary Face, as long as I don't get full paired, I get the Tailwind off. It looks like they're going to hard swap here into the Groudon, so I don't mind this too much. It's not the best for me, but I don't think it's terrible either, because I get good amount of damage to the Groudon. Their Charizard's gonna Dynamax. All right, so I wonder, the Groudon, I guess they're okay with taking the damage on Groudon, which I will happily take as well. I think then I just bring in my Landorus and I'm in a good spot if they take the KO onto my Zacian right here. My only problem is they did break the Sash, but I don't think it's too bad if my Latias the Sash gets broken if I do maintain speed control. So we will get a Behemoth Blade off into the Groudon. No max guard. Does make a lot of sense here that you want to attack with the Charizard in a really good offensive position, unless I Dynamax my Latias and I guess double the Charizard, which would have been pretty rare there. Tailwind is going to be set up for the Latias here. Okay, and then what's Charizard going for? Gonna be a Wildfire into the Zacian slot. Okay, that is a okay trade here. It does get the Wildfire chip, and I do lose my Zacian, but not too bad right here. Okay, so Zacian does go down, and it is a Life Orb Charizard, which is actually really good for me because I do have Rockfall on my Landorus. So yeah, that's a pretty good position for me. I will go out into my Landorus right here. And once I get rid of this Charizard, I feel very comfortable with winning the... And I need damage, I guess, on Grimmsnarl. I feel very comfortable winning the game afterward. So we do bring out the Landorus that does get intimidated into Groudon. And all right, now let's see how this goes. But I am going to go for I guess a Helping Hand here, or I could Icy Wind. Both kind of work here. I think Icy Wind probably makes the most sense to me. I kind of want to go for the Icy Wind and a Max Quake here, because I feel like Charizard probably max guards. You don't want to take a Rockfall, I think, especially. And I could see the Groudon trying to retreat into like a Grimmsnarl or just sacking it here. So I think I'm just going to go for the Max Quake here. If I do lose this prediction, I should be able to live one Wildfire, I think, with the Max Quake boost. Hopefully. Because otherwise, I guess I'm in a rough spot. But I really do want this right here. We do Dynamax our Landorus right here. Let's see what they decide to go for. What are they going to choose? It's going to be a... Yeah, Max Guard. Perfect. Perfect. I do get the call right. Excellent. So I don't waste a Max move. I get an Icy Wind off into the Groudon and a Max Quake. And then the following turn, I'm in a really good spot with the Latias plus the Landorus. So yeah, damage onto Groudon, of course, very, very good here. And here comes a Max Quake into the Groudon. So yeah, that's fantastic right here. Eliminating the Groudon, of course, really ideal here. And next turn, I guess I just go for Icy Wind into a Rockfall here, because if they have Trick Iron Ball into Grim, I outspeed the Charizard with Tailwind as long as I get one Icy Wind connect. I could also go for the Ally Switch, but I don't know. I don't really need the Ally Switch at the moment right here. A Wildfire damage is adding up, but I don't think it's really that bad for me, because I think at this point I'm really liking my Yveltal endgame. I just need a bit more damage, I think, and the +1 special defense, of course, is really helpful here. So let's see. It's going to be the Grimmsnarl coming out, which is not too surprising here. We're going to go for the Icy Wind here. It does make the most sense to me, and we're going to go for that Rockfall into the Charizard. Let's see. Reflects. I don't know. Do we KO the Charizard? I guess it reflects. I mean, it's not Charty Berry, so I feel like Rockfall with the damage. Maybe? It is a trick set. Okay, so is it Diamond Ball? A Lagging Tail. Okay, it doesn't activate immediately. Lagging Tail a little bit. That's... I mean, it's okay, I think. I do get the Rockfall into the Charizard. Oh, wait, yeah, chased by Wider. But I was like, wait, what? I was like, what just happened there? And then I forgot they tricked my Wider away. I was like, what? Okay, because I was like, wait, eject button? All right, goodbye, Charizard. Charizard goes down. Fantastic. Really, really nice spot here. Okay, now we want to bring I mean, Calyrex probably in the back. If it's not Calyrex, I feel like I just win this game outright here with Yveltal, as long as I get, again, good damage into the Grimmsnarl, which I am going to go for the damage into Grimmsnarl. With that Max Quake from earlier, it was so important to get that Charizard read, because now my Landorus should be able to live anything, I think, even a fake Tears Astral Barrage, unless this is choice specs on the Calyrex. Maybe I should play around the potential choice specs Calyrex. I actually think I should. I think I do Ally Switch here. I think I should, because if they fake Tears my Landorus, I'm in a little bit of a weird spot. I think it's really unlikely they do, but if they do, I think it's like the worst case scenario, and I don't need the KO onto Grimmsnarl exactly. I think, yeah, just going for the Ally Switch here with my Latias and going for the Max Quake into the Grimmsnarl is the best play here, just to avoid the fake Tear scenario, which is, I think, is the only way I could really lose here. So let's see if this is going to work. We do Ally Switch here. Just Astral Barrage, okay, which is perfect. All right. I don't mind, because I do have the Yveltal in the back. Again, I think worst case was the fake Tears and it being specs, but it doesn't look like it's specs Calyrex. I think it would have done a little bit more if it was. We're going to see Lash Out into my Landorus, which is not going to be able to pick up knockout. Interesting choice of move there. A Max Quake going to be fired off into the Grimmsnarl, which is a good amount of damage. It actually just picks up the knockout because they don't have any screens or anything, and Landorus, of course, really strong there. So fantastic. That was the Pokemon I was worried about the most, because Spirit Break, of course, for the Yveltal could be a little bit terrifying. But now with an Assault Vest Yveltal, I should always have this game sealed. They should not be able to pick up the win here, because Yveltal just going to be able to come in, and with that Assault Vest, we have a very safe foul play right here. If they go for Wisp, doesn't change anything. Yeah, like we also have Sucker Punch threats. Doesn't really help them too much. So nice. Able to, I think Latias put us in a really good position with Tailwind. It wasn't a trick Iron Ball. Lagging Tail is kind of something that we used to see on Grimmsnarl a lot, but of course it has fallen off because it doesn't activate the first turn. If it did activate the first turn, would have been terrifying, or like the immediate turn you do go for the trick Lagging Tail. The speed drop doesn't change until afterward because it's already calculated. But yeah, it is something. And yeah, I just able to really, I think, get a Max Quake boost, which was really nice. It allowed my Landorus to take attacks. I was able to get the Quake off into Groudon, and at the worst case, the Charizard got the Wildfire off. It shouldn't KO, I think, but the Charizard was way more likely, I think, to go for the Max Guard right there. I don't know what Groudon was going for. Maybe a Rock Tomb if it had it. Definitely could have been a thing. I thought they could have maybe went hard into Grimmsnarl right there and was trying to go for the trick or a Scary Face potentially, so the Charizard would outspeed afterward. And that's what I was trying to catch. So I think it caught like way more options than it did lose me right there. And again, playing aggressive with the Charizard, if you didn't protect Charizard, it's like Yveltal was really tough for you to deal with, especially with a weakened Groudon already at that point. So I felt like I was in a really strong point to make that read, and I think it really did pay off. And then just KOing the Charizard afterward with the Rockfall the following turn, just that made it really worth it. Kyogre, Zacian, Landorus variant, Tornadus, Gastrodon, Entity. All right, pretty standard what we got here. What do I want to go with? Because I'm thinking like the Latias plus Eliki lead's pretty strong. There is a Landorus that I do have to be a little bit concerned about, but overall I do really like Latias plus Eliki, I think, against Rain, because if they lead you Landorus, I could always just swap into Yveltal and Icy Wind, which I think is a pretty strong play here. I do like the Zacian in the back. And I think I need the Yveltal damage output wise. I think it's the thing that makes the most sense here to me. I like the idea of leading Eliki because Icy Wind is a really strong play from the Latias, or just going for the Tailwind immediately I think is really good here. They lead something like Kyogre plus the Tornadus. I think I'm in a really good spot. Let's see what it is going to be. It's going to be the Tornadus and the Landorus. Okay. I don't mind this. I can go for Icy Wind turn 1, which I think is a pretty strong play. I guess Airstream from land. Well, no, Airstream and the Landorus doesn't do anything because it's slower than my Latias. If they Tailwind Airstream, I do have a Focus Sash. So yeah, I go for the Icy Wind here. Icy Wind seems pretty strong, and going out into my Yveltal. Did they Source Sense this position? I have no clue. If they Source Sense this position, I guess it could be a little bit strange here. Then I would have wanted to go for the Tailwind here. But I have no idea if the Tornadus has Icy Wind too. So we'll bring out our Yveltal right here. I want the Icy Wind damage. I don't even know if they Dynamax here. I'd say they probably don't have to. Maybe just go for the Earthquake or a Rock Slide. But it is going to be a Dynamax coming out. So it is a Landorus. All right. I didn't want to go for the Tailwind because... matching the tail, I guess matching the Tailwind would have been all right, but it really just depended, I think, on if Tornadus went for Tailwind this turn or Icy Wind, because I was like worried about Icy Wind Torn. I just don't know. I feel like this team would run Icy Wind, but we'll see. Let's go for the Tailwind here, so maybe I could just went for Tailwind immediately. Let's see if they went for Airstream and Nalati, which is definitely a play here. It is going to be Airstream and Nalati. Okay. I don't think this is bad, technically. Yeah, I don't think this is bad. I do get an Icy Wind off into their slot. Sure, I'm losing momentum, but I think like I could probably manage. Icy Wind comes out into both right here. Get some really solid damage off. Okay. Am I Dynamaxing Yveltal now? I could Dynamax the Yveltal. I have Ally Switch, or I could Helping Hand here. The problem with Helping Hand is then they get a free swap into something, and I don't really like that. Like, bringing out their Zoc would be pretty awful, I think, in this position. But I don't think I want to take a knockout yet. Although, I mean, they probably... I don't know if they have Icy Wind. That's the thing, because my Lottie probably goes down to a attack right here. I think I should Tailwind, though. I think Tailwind's probably fine here. And I think I'm going to try to Oblivion Wing the Torn right here for health. Because I do need to play a bit defensive. I don't know if they have Rockfall, but yeah, it is Icy Wind. All right. So they do go for the Icy Wind here. Does knock out my Lottie. Do I go down to Rockfall is the question. I feel like with this bulky Yveltal, I should survive. Maybe Zacian was a bit of a better play because I would have been able to eat up this max move. But I feel like I need the Oblivion Wing health anyway, so I might as well get it off in the Torn. And yeah, I do survive a Rockfall, which is pretty big. Okay. Oblivion Wing shouldn't knock out the Torn. Eliki can still come back in the late game as long as I prevent Tailwind and I do KO their Landorus. So a little bit of an obstacle, but still very, very doable right here. So we get an Oblivion Wing off into the Torn right there. We are able to get back quite a bit of significant health right here. And then afterward, I mean, it's really, I think it's a big read here. Like, I think I have to make a read. I definitely go Zacian here 100%. I can't go Eliki because Eliki, of course, really threatened here. Do I go for the Behemoth Blade or do I go for... Because if I expect the Landorus to go for the Max Quake, I think it Max Quakes my Zacian right here. So that would mean I have to protect and then probably Foul Play a Landorus and then put into Sucker Punch range. If they go for an Airstream in the Yveltal, my best play is probably just to go for the Behemoth Blade here and target down the Landorus and probably just Sucker Punch the Torn. You know what? I'm going to play a little bit aggressive here. I think I have to. I'm going to Sucker Punch the Torn and hope that they mess up and go for something else. So let's see. Sucker Punch is going to come out into the Torn slot, which does pick up the knockout. So... all right, big moment right here. We're gonna see the Airstream. Okay, perfect. They do target down the Yveltal. All right, cool. Had a feeling I needed a mess up right here. I felt like, and yeah, they did go for the Airstream into Yveltal, probably expecting the obvious Zacian Protect right there, but I kind of had to make an aggressive play, I felt like, because I mean, it was either I protect Zacian and I go for a Foul Play there on their Max Quake play, which I think Foul Play and a Sucker Punch would have been able to knock out the Landorus after Dynamax was over. Or yeah, and I needed the Torn to attack there. Thankfully they did. They didn't want to mess up. I think Protect and the Airstream would have probably been their best play, but thankfully they did mess up by attacking with the Torn. Attacking with the Torn meant that unless they, yeah, because attacking with the Torn basically just made me win this game. We're gonna see the Kyogre come out next to the Zacian. I feel very, very happy about this position now. I should be able to go for the double Protect here, and unless they have sub or something, we should be okay. So we're gonna see Kyogre's Drizzle goes before the Zacian, so we confirm it's a Choice Scarf Kyogre. Even better, because if it's Choice Scarf Kyogre, it cannot protect on the following turn. If the Zacian has sub, that's okay, doesn't really change much. It's the last turn of Tailwind, so we go for the double Protect here. And yes, we're in a very nice spot afterward to go for a Max Lightning into the Kyogre slot and then a Behemoth Blade, and we should be able to seal the deal here. So yeah, maybe, yeah, because the Torn didn't go for the Protect or like try to fail Tailwind, because the Sucker Punch, I don't know if they were expecting the Sucker Punch option, because a lot of Yveltals are running more of offensive set and are dropping Sucker Punch, but that Sucker Punch kind of caught them really off guard, I think, being able to KO their Torn before the Yveltal went down, and then just allowing this position right here where I was able to KO both their Pokemon. The Landorus, the big threat to the Aleki, and now I can go for a Behemoth Blade into the Zacian. Of course, they could have been in a really bad spot though if I outplayed the Landorus into Sucker Punch range and then took the knockout Torn in the last slot. So regardless, I think it was more of a read based play regardless. No matter what, I had to get that read right, and thankfully I did. So right here, Max Lightning into Kyogre. Unless this is for some reason like this Zacian is like the slowest Zacian I've ever seen, and the Kyogre actually does have Protect, and the Zacian like either high rolls by Aleki or gets a crit, we should be okay right here. A Dynamax Aleki right here is faster than any Kyogre that is Choice Scarf in the east, the west, wherever you are from. Let's see. Max Lightning will come out into the Kyogre, should obliterate the Kyogre, and my Zacian is a really fast Zacian. It should, I think, outspeed and two-shot their Zacian very comfortably here. We'll find out. If they're max speed, I guess this is still not technically over. Kyogre does go down to the Max Lightning. Beautiful. And a Behemoth Blade. Oh, wow. They are actually like fast Zacian. Wait, I didn't take an Icy Wind, right? Yeah. Okay, but they targeted down the Zacian on my side, so yeah, they didn't crit me fortunately, but I don't think crit would have really mattered because Max Lightning should have just been able to nuke their Zacian regardless, so I think I would have been all right. Behemoth Blade going to come out into their Zacian, does so much damage here. I think we're both max speed Zacian, or is this Adamant Zacian actually? I don't know. All I know is like this is 4 HP, or not 4 HP. It doesn't even have HP investment. Is this? This is max speed Zacian. Yeah, okay. But yeah, we go for a Behemoth Blade, we go for a Lightning to protect and guaranteed to outspeed and KO. And ooh, that was closer than I thought. That was closer than I thought. I did have to make the aggressive read, and thankfully I did. I guess Tailwind was better because if I mashed a Tailwind, I mean, was it better? It was, I think, because I guess I should have thought about that more, because they don't have to Quake the Aleki at all. They definitely could target the Latias. They definitely have the room to right there. And I think matching the Tailwind was a bit better. I thought I could get an Icy Wind off and maybe hope that they target down the Yveltal slot, and then I could get a Tailwind and get one more extra turn, knock out the Torn, and then be in a really solid position with Aleki for the late game. But that was not how it worked, and that was a bit of lapse in judgment right there. But thankfully, again, it worked out just well enough with the one call that I made, which could have made the game go either way if I did get it wrong right there. Charizard, Groudon, Zacian, Gastrodon, Thundurus, Incineroar. All right, so Thundurus on this team over the Grimmsnarl, that actually changes it quite a bit because I don't know. Well, no, Grimmsnarl is actually really nice to deal with early on, so that's pretty okay. It really just depends because I want Latias, I think, lead wise here. Yeah, Latias for sure with Zacian I think is pretty strong. Have the Landorus in the back. I could lead Landorus though. There's not really much that's stopping me from leading Landorus, but there is, I guess, the Thundurus if it has the Find, then that's actually kind of awkward. I could lead something like the Aleki plus the Yveltal, going for like a Max Strike plus Foul Play. That could really dish out a lot. It also threatens the Charizard, but the only problem is if I get a wrong read, if they lead Groudon, it becomes devastating. So I'd rather not lead that. Let's just try out the Latias Zacian lead. As overall, It does a lot of damage and covers for a lot of factors. I want to see what they decide to lead here, because or if they even bring, I don't know what they would bring. I don't know if the Thunders really changes it too much. It is better, it is decent against Yveltal if it is defiant, but if it's support, then it's not really the best bring here. We're gonna see Incineroar Gastrodon lead. Okay, that's very defensive right here, but we do lead the Latias plus the Zacian right here. Okay, not something I would expect unless they Ice Beam turn one my Zacian. I think I'm in an okay spot. Don't make that read, please, because that would be pretty insane. I actually kind of want to double switch here. Would I want to do that and reveal all four of my Pokemon? Tailwind's not really helpful here. If they Parting Shot's a little bit awkward, but I think it's okay. I don't think they're going to Fake Out, though. I think they do Parting Shot out here, so maybe just getting the Tailwind up is better, probably. Or they could Throat Chop, though. That's my only other issue. They could definitely Throat Chop. I think I definitely go for the Tailwind here. I'm going to go Tailwind and probably Landorus, I think. Because they lead Gastrodon. I guess that makes sense, actually, now that I think about it, because they're trying to prepare for the Landorus. That is one of their best Landorus answers, is the Gastrodon. I wonder if I could force the Max, because that's what I'm curious about. If I could force the Max, make them go for a Hailstorm and waste a turn with my Zacian, that seems really good. Oh, they faked out my Lottie. Okay, I guess they were scared of like a grass move potentially. They did go for an Ice Beam. Okay, they target my Lottie, so okay. If it was my other slot, then we had issues there. Okay. So this is probably pretty okay for me right off the bat. I think I could probably go for the Tailwind right here and the Max Quake. I could go for the Helping Hand Max Quake too. That's also not a bad option. I could also swap back into Zacian, which I am kind of considering here, and I think I will make that play. I'm going to go for the Tailwind here because I do want that speed control, and I think going to Zacian because I might force them to go for the Max here, because Landorus, of course, is a really scary Pokemon for them. I wonder if I think it's probably Groudon and Zacian in the back now that I think about it. If it's not, I think it's like, this is probably like Parting Shots and or hard swap here, but we do see a Dynamax come out. Let's see if I baited out the Gastrodon's Dynamax correctly, because I'm expecting Hailstorm into the Landorus slot, and I think this is the best position for me to get this. Yep, okay, Gastrodon does Dynamax. All right. So unless you read this time around, I think you go for the Max Hailstorm into the Landorus slot, and maybe a Throat Chop into my Latias. Maybe you go for the Parting Shot here. I think either is cool. So I didn't want to go for the Helping Hand Max Quake exactly for that, and I feel like if I went for Helping Hand Max Quake, they Parting Shot on his Zacian, I'm in a really awkward spot, so I'd rather go for this. They go for Parting Shot here. They tar down what was my Landorus. Okay. That's not that big of a deal, depending on who they bring out. I wouldn't be surprised if whoever, doesn't matter who they bring out, because they might just go back to Instant right here. But yeah, this is a pretty good turn. Let's see. Zacian is going to come out for their side. Okay. I could ally switch, but I don't know if that's really worth it. I would like the damage though into their Zacian if they give it to me, but I don't know if they will. They went for a Hailstorm. Yep, this should be into the Landorus slot. Yep, okay, ideal. So that's one turn of Max that's wasted, which is really nice here. Okay, really good. Do I go for the Helping Hand Sacred Sword? I think Helping Hand Sacred Sword is a pretty good play here for the most part. I'm trying to think about the downsides here. I think they need to save Zacian because they should. I think they have to save Zacian, right? They could ally switch here too. Ally switch Behemoth Blade is not a bad play, but the thing is they could Behemoth Blade my Lottie slot, so I don't really like that too much. I think they always Quake my Zacian, but maybe I have been switching out between my flying types, so maybe they hard raid me here. I can definitely see it. I think I'd rather just Helping Hand though, and you know what? I think I go for the Behemoth Blade. Do I go for Behemoth Blade or Sacred? I really want to kind of go for the Behemoth Blade here, because Instant could be a thing, but I'd rather just target down. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go for the Helping Hand Behemoth Blade. If I get the chip damage to Zacian, it's great for me. And if they stay in, it's like, yeah, to try to knock out the Lottie so they can deny Tailwind later. We're going to see. Oh, they just went for the Protect. I was expecting offense right there. All right, especially since I was at neutral attack right here. Oh, that's not great here. Who are they targeting here? All right, they Hailstormed the Latias. Oh no, they did. Exactly. That's exactly why I didn't want to hard swap again to like one of my flying types. I felt like I was a bit playing too obvious there if that was the case. All right, that's really, really good then. That's really, really good then. Okay. They should definitely be swapping the Zacian out into Instant. I would really like that damage into the Instant slot, so I will happily go for the Helping Hand Sacred Sword right here into the Zacian slot. I think they do switch out to Instant because they've taken some hail damage. I don't think they want to really risk the Zacian taking too much right here. It's probably one of their best answers to the Landorus now that they have like basically wasted their Dynamax with the Gastrodon at this point. I could have also hard swapped out. I could hard swap out into my Landorus right here and show them, you know, that I can read every single max move. But I think just Helping Hand Sacred Sword is pretty fine. I don't need Zacian anymore in this end game. I think Helping Hand plus Airstream is like really good afterward, or even just a Quake. Let's find out. Helping Hand going to come out from the Latias. So this is a -1 Zacian because we did take 2 Intimidates. But here comes a Sacred Sword into Incineroar. Very, very nice damage. Yep. And a Hailstorm does come out and targets down my Zacian. Yep. Oh, my opponent must be frustrated on that one, but I am getting them. I am getting them. Same with the Zacian, because like I don't really need to go for anything crazy right there. Okay, perfect. So they're probably going to target down. Do I want to keep my Lottie around? I feel like I do, because Helping Hand is just really, really good. Last turn of Tailwind. I think they just Ice Beam the Latias slot and Fake Out right here. Ally Switch doesn't help me here. Helping Hand doesn't really help me here. I guess I can go for... I mean, I could attempt to Icy Wind here. In case they try to hard go Zacian on like read the Fake Out and just like hard swap here. I could see that. I think I'm just gonna Icy Wind and Sacred Sword here. I think that's cool. They do go for the Fake Out here into my Zacian. That's cool. All right, so this should be an Ice Beam in the Lottie, which I should be able to survive. And Icy Wind gonna come out onto both Pokemon right here, and I get a bit of chip on that Gastrodon, which again could go a long way with the Dynamax Landorus, because that might be just the chip damage I need right here. We're going to see an Ice Beam come out into the Lottie slot, I imagine. Yep, okay, perfect. So I could have actually swapped... I guess I could have swapped the Zacian out this time in the Landorus. I probably should have, because like I felt like the Ice Beam into that slot was like a pretty safe one right there. I think now I can probably go on a Yveltal right here. Or Landorus. I kind of want to go Landorus right here. Yeah, I want to go Landorus right here. The reason I want to go Landorus is because they're probably like really adamant about going for... I mean, I think this is the right call. That just makes the most sense. I just got to make sure I'm a little bit careful, because this position might still be a little bit tricky, even though I've gotten a lot of the reads right. I haven't like gotten everything I needed yet. I think Protect is pretty safe and going hard into my Yveltal, because I think they probably parting shot Yawn my Landorus slot this time. And if that's the case, I'm probably in a good spot with Yveltal coming in to Oblivion Wing the Incineroar, because I want to avoid the parting shot as well as the Yawn factor. So let's see if that's going to be the case here. They do stay in. They didn't hard swap. So I imagine parting shot on a Landorus right here, but they went for Flare, but it's actually into my Zacian. That's actually even better for me. I will definitely take that, because yeah, my Yveltal definitely going to be able to eat that up. We're going to see a Ice Beam into the Landorus. Okay, no Yawn, huh? Maybe just scared of Lumberry, but that works out beautifully for me. Hail expires, but this is perfectly acceptable right here. Okay, I don't want to attack in that Gastrodon Protect though, if I can help it. I do want to go for the Airstream though. I'm going to go for the Airstream in the Gastrodon. I think I just go for the Oblivion Wing into the Incineroar. I guess this is okay. Even if I take the Yawn with Jolly Max Speed Zacian, I feel like my odds are pretty good. If they go for the Yawn, they take so much damage here. Ice Beam, I'll definitely be able to eat up just fine with Dynamax. There's a chance that they Protect and go for a parting shot right here, which I could definitely see. They might be fearing to double up into the Gastrodon. And I don't want a parting shot happening in the Landorus, because it activates the Wide Herb and then they can go back to instant, and then I'm not KOing the Gastrodon at all with my hit. So that's exactly why I want to take the Oblivion Wing knockout into the Incineroar now. Get rid of that Fake Out pressure, getting rid of the parting shot and Intimidate pressure. We are going to see Gastrodon Protect. Nice. Okay, this is working out perfectly. I get the damage to Protect, which is very valuable here. I get the speed boost, which means my Landorus is now faster than the Zacian right here in the upcoming turns. Yeah, this is looking really, really good here. All right. Huge. Okay. As we're going to see an Oblivion Wing into the Incineroar, should pick up the knockout into that Incineroar slot. It does. Okay. Ooh. Oh, that could have been something right there. So goodbye Incineroar. I get to heal back up to full, and I don't know how bulky this Incineroar was, but the Flare Blitz recall that they did actually was pretty nice there because it guaranteed the Oblivion Wing. Maybe it could have been a roll if it didn't go for the Flare Blitz, but yeah, I was pretty confident on the knockout right there. Now the Zacian comes in, and now this is where it gets a little bit scary, and I mean a little bit scary right here, because this could be a read right here between who am I going to max Quake. Now the Gastron did protect, so they might go offensive with the Zacian or not. That's the big question here. I think it's okay to go for the max Quake here into the Zacian, and I think it's okay to go for a Snarl into the Gastrodon. The damage to protect through Zacian is still pretty valuable. I get decent damage to the Gastrodon, and they did go offensive. Beautiful. Oh man, I'm getting them every single turn basically. Max Quake is able to knock out the Zacian. I'm able to get the Snarl off, and even if they get the Yawn at this point, I basically have chipped. I got rid of the Zacian, which is the biggest threat to Yveltal. Now Yveltal is just such a big problem for them to actually deal with in the long term. So I should be able to just win this game now. We get a Snarl off, and this is going to target down the Gastrodon. Good chip damage, really good damage actually, yeah. Because if I went into Gastrodon, they protected Zacian, they just lost. So Ice Beam going to come out. Okay, Ice Beam going to come out in Landers. Maybe they're hoping for the freeze at that point, but oh boy, yeah, that should secure it right here. I don't see how they're getting out of this one. The Landers is just in such a good spot right here. I could double up the Groudon in the back, which should be, yep, the Groudon in the back, or I could go for the Gastrodon. Either is fine, realistically. I think probably just starting the Groudon. I don't think I picked up the knockout on the Groudon, but I mean, a max Quake into a foul play into an Earthquake should pick up the knockout. And I also have the Zacian at still able to do damage once it comes out to the Gastrodon with a +1 Sacred Sword, plus the Yveltal is still going to be around most likely. So, oh, nice. It kind of was actually a little bit more difficult to maneuver. I didn't think, yeah, the Gastron adjustment makes a lot of sense. I keep forgetting that Gastron could be led because I'm so used to like them just leading Charizard. For some reason, they always lead Charizard, and then I'm like, okay, then it's a little bit tricky. So the Gastrodon makes a lot of sense because it's one of the few Pokemon that can actually handle Landers, because you really only have Ice Beam, or you rely on Zard a lot of the time, and it kind of is tricky to bring Zard against the team that I do have of Latias alongside the Landers, because he can't really slow down the Landers. So I can usually always just get a Rockfall off, and once I get a Rockfall, I change the weather, so the Charizard's not doing as much damage. So the Gastrodon made a lot of sense. Was able to beat the max turns, and thankfully, like, I could have went between Zacian and a flying type for the Hailstorm plus the max Quake, but I felt like it might have been a little bit too obvious, and thankfully it did pay off. And yeah, I was really messing with my opponent's head throughout the majority of the game, and ooh, it really did pay off right there. And that is the show, man. Latias was a cool Pokemon, and I wish I could have used it more back in like 2018 when it was like really good. And yeah, it's a little bit tough because like Zacian, Calyx, Shadow Rider, but the Latias is really nice support. It does get a lot of great support moves in general. Tailwind and Helping Hand are really nice. There's the Ally Switch, of course, which I don't really like to click that much, but of course still a really strong option regardless. But yeah, it was a really strong team. We didn't get to use the Solax much, but it was mainly because we didn't face a single Trick Room team. But if you want to try out the team, why not try it out yourself? You do have the rental code right here on the screen. Grab it while it's available. Down below in the description, you can check out the creator and the details of the team. And of course, leave a like down below, leave a comment down below if you did enjoy today's video. And check out the rest of my Series 12 content where I use a lot of cool teams and a lot of fun Pokemon. But that's going to be it for me. Have a great day, people. And until we bow again, I'll catch y'all later.